Every financial advisor in America will tell you that you need at least $2 million to retire comfortably. Some say $3 million. The most conservatives say $5 million. The retirement planning industry has built an entire business model around convincing you that freedom is impossibly expensive, that you'll need decades of saving and sacrifice, that retirement before 65 is a fantasy for all but the wealthiest. They're all wrong. Not slightly wrong, catastrophically wrong, because they're optimizing for the wrong variable. They're calculating how much money you need to maintain your current lifestyle in your current location with your current spending habits. I'm going to tell you something different. I'm going to tell you how much money you need to never have to work for someone else again. To wake up every morning and decide how to spend your time based on what matters to you rather than what pays you. To have enough passive income that employment becomes optional rather than mandatory. Those are completely different questions with completely different answers. And the answer to the second question, which is the only question that actually matters, is $300,000, not $3 million, not $2 million, $300,000. Now, before you dismiss this as impossible or naive or disconnected from reality, let me show you the mathematics. Let me show you the geographic arbitrage calculations that the financial services industry doesn't want you to see, because if you understood these numbers, you'd realize you could be free in 5 to 10 years instead of 30 or 40, and they'd lose decades of management fees and commissions. This isn't wishful thinking. This is arithmetic that's been true for 100 years and will be true for the next 100. And it starts with understanding what retirement actually means. The retirement planning industry has convinced most people that retirement means maintaining their pre-retirement standard of living indefinitely. If you're spending $70,000 per year while working, you need enough money to spend $70,000 per year forever after you stop working. This seems logical until you examine the assumptions. First assumption, you'll want to spend the same amount. Wrong. Most retirement spending is compensation spending, money spent to deal with the stress and time constraints of working. Expensive meals because you don't have time to cook, new clothes for work, expensive vacations because you only have 2 weeks per year, a nice car because your commute is miserable and you deserve something comfortable, entertainment and hobbies because you need to decompress from work stress. Remove the job and most of that spending becomes unnecessary. You have time to cook. You don't need work clothes. You can travel during off-peak times when everything costs less. You don't commute. You're not stressed and don't need expensive coping mechanisms. The actual cost of a good life without employment is 30 to 50% less than the cost of the same life with employment. Second assumption, you'll live in the same place. Why? If your job is what ties you to an expensive city, why stay there when the job ends? The difference in cost of living between San Francisco and Lisbon is 70%. Between New York and Chiang Mai is 85%. Between Seattle and Medellin is 75%. You can have a better quality of life in dozens of places around the world for a fraction of what you're spending now. Better weather, better food, better culture, more time outdoors, closer to nature, stronger communities. The only reason not to consider these places is if you're anchored by employment or family. Remove those anchors and the entire world becomes available at prices that make retirement possible with far less capital. Third assumption, you need to replace your income. Wrong again. You need to cover your expenses. Those are different numbers. Most people confuse income with spending because during their working years, those numbers are related. Your income determines your spending capacity, but in retirement, income is irrelevant. Only expenses matter. If you can live well on $18,000 per year, you don't need income replacement. You need $18,000 per year. This is where the mathematics become interesting. $300,000 invested conservatively in dividend-paying stocks, yielding 4%, generates $12,000 per year in passive income without touching the principal. That's $1,000 per month.